back to my channel. My name is Trish and today's video is going to be kind of a different one for me. I recently saw that the spring Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale is going to start very soon and I got super excited about it. Like, you know, I always do because I love a good makeup deal. Well, that got me thinking where the products were that I bought during the last spring Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. So I decided to take you guys along down memory lane and figure out where these products were now, if I impulse purchased them and regret it, or what exactly happened to those products that I purchased 2022's spring Ulta 21 Days of Beauty. So if you're curious about the products and where they are now, just go ahead and keep watching. Okay, so I took a screenshot of these and I will post them up on the screen so we can talk about them together. But starting on March 18th, I purchased the Too Faced Sweet Peach eyeshadow palette, which I still do have in my collection. And this was on sale for $24.50. So this is what that palette looks like. And you guys, I have to say, I've only used this palette twice since I bought it. And I can tell that because I've not used these two shades here. I've not used this one. I've not used this one. I've not used this one. Or there's quite a lot in here I haven't used, but it does really, really smell good. And I don't want to say I regret buying this because when I did my big eyeshadow palette declutter before we moved up here, I did bring this along because I do love these shades, especially the Bellini and the Luscious shade. I do still love them, but I don't reach for this. I have much more exciting palettes to reach for, and I would say I definitely kind of regret buying this. Just sort of regret buying it, but I'm still happy to have it in my collection, kind of. Not starting off very good talking about these things, are we? I'm gonna get another cup of happy here, or sip of happy. So the next thing that I bought was the Milani Bold Color Statement Matte Lipstick in the color I Am Radiant, and it is a matte terracotta. So this one right here, I got this shade. I believe it was on, well, it had to be on a sale, but I got this shade because I was trying to dupe out my favorite MAC lipstick. And you guys, this is a perfect dupe for that shade, which is great. It's a bold matte lipstick. I love the color. I love the formula, obviously, if I was trying to dupe it. But the problem is I still have quite a bit of that MAC lipstick left. In fact, it's the shade, it's the lipstick that I reach for. I don't reach for this one because I have that one. So this one, as you guys can see from the bullet here, is barely used. And I've been in my collection for a year, but it's barely used because I have a lipstick and this is just a dupe for it, so I'm using the actual lipstick. But I really was glad to find a dupe. I just probably shouldn't have gotten it because I don't go through lipsticks very often. Lip glosses, yes. Lipsticks, no. The next one is the Duke Cannon Supply Cannon Balm. We actually still have that. That is a huge lip balm, you guys. Like, it's that far around. It sticks out in like my purse or whatever. We use that. We keep that in our backpack when we're riding our bikes, and we use that for lip balm because it does have an SPF and it is very good for that. We still do have that. That is going to take us forever to go through. So moving on to March 21st, I bought two things. I bought the Nabla Cutie Analog and the Urban Decay Brow Blade and Taupe Trap. Okay, I bought the Urban Decay Brow Blade and Taupe Trap because everybody was talking about it and they said it was a really good brow product. However, at the time, and even up until like a month ago, the only thing I would use in my brows is a brow gel, and specifically the Essence Make Me Brow. So I used this only a couple of times and did not like it in my brows. It was kind of silly for me to buy this brow product knowing that it wasn't my typical brow my brow routine. It just didn't fit into it at the current time. So that got decluttered very quickly from my collection. And then the Nabla Cutie Analog. So this did get decluttered before we moved from South Carolina to Illinois. And the reason I decluttered it is because I never actually used it on my eyes. They had two shades specifically in there. Let me see if I can pull it up. The two shades specifically in there, 35 millimeter and overexposed, are gorgeous. I loved swatching this palette, and I swatched it so many times. Even in my declutter, I said that I love swatching this palette, but I never put it on my eyes. You guys, I bought this on sale. I believe it was like $12, and I never wore it on my eyes, and it ended up getting decluttered. So that might be something to keep in mind, I guess, for eyeshadow palettes. Maybe not buy the eyeshadow palettes unless it's something that I did want to start with, because that was totally an impulse purchase. 110% that was an impulse purchase. Okay, and the last order that I did in March was on March 28th, and I bought 3 JCat palettes, the Clinique Take the Day Off Cleansing Balm and the Peter Thomas Roth SPF. Okay, so the JCat palettes, I loved the Dia Noche, the Dia palette, and the Dia Noche Around the Clock palette. The Around the Clock palette was a really big contender to come to Illinois. It was in my maybe pile, but I had a pan on that palette last year that had blues in it, and I was kind of tired of blues, so it did go ahead and get decluttered. In fact, all 3 of my JCat palettes that I bought March of last year did get decluttered before I moved to Illinois. The Dia palette, the top one that you see there, it had a very pretty color story in it. I just didn't find myself reaching for that one over other palettes that I had in my collection. So that one got decluttered. The Viva La Musical palette, the Viva La 24 Pigment Musical palette, that one I actually only used 2 shades out of it before I decluttered it. I didn't like the quality of that one. I would say it's not as good as the 2 Dia Noche palettes that I had. And then the Around the Clock palette, like I said, it was just because it was blues, and at that point in time, I was very tired of blues. The Clinique Take the Day Off Cleansing Balm I did use up. It was in one of my empties, and it was my favorite cleansing balm at the time, which is why I purchased this and did use it up, but I have since moved on. I do have a different cleansing balm that I use. And then the Peter Thomas Roth Water Drenched Broad Spectrum SPF Cloud Moisturizer. That one got given to my daughter. I could not find a way to make that one work. Again, it was on sale, and so I got it, and I'm living in South Carolina, and even now I always wear sunscreen, but living in South Carolina, I would put a moisturizer with a sunscreen on, and then a sunscreen, and then my foundation would have a sunscreen as well. It's a lot of sunscreens, but you know, can't be too sun safe. But this one here would cause my makeup to pill so bad, and it would cause my moisturizer to pill, and it did not work for me at all. And I gave it to my daughter, and funny enough, she doesn't wear like a base product. She'll wear a little bit of concealer, but she doesn't wear foundation. And she would put it on, and then she would just put spot conceal. It would even pill up underneath the concealer, so she ended up not using it and decluttering it as well. So those are all the products that I bought last March during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty sale in the spring, and I gotta say this has been kind of eye-opening on the fact that most of these products got decluttered. So while I like a good sale, I'm probably this coming up Ulta 21 Days of Beauty going to like look long and hard and not just impulse buy a little bit more, because I don't like wasting money like that. I know people don't like wasting money in general, but I don't like wasting money like that. And that was definitely a slap in the face, if you will, on what I actually used and didn't use and kept in my collection. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, if you would like, comment, and subscribe, it really does help me out. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.